How's it going? It has been a long time since I have made a video. I think the last time I made a video I was bordering on 120 subscribers, and wow, I am almost at 200 and I can't believe it. I know people freak out about getting like 1 million subscribers and stuff, but having at least close to 200 people is still a lot. 200 people that regularly possibly watch my videos is kind of insane to me. And I do thank you so much for it. So, as you can tell by the title, I'm putting a Wii in my car. And the first question I'm going to get is why. So, going to try to justify this the best I can. So, one, it's for the flex. Yeah, I know. So, one, it is for the flex, and two, it's for both me and my passengers. And the thing is, I drive my car a lot, usually. And sometimes I drive it very far away. Frequently, I drive it very far away from my own place, and sometimes I'm spending multiple hours in my car not even driving it, which is kind of crazy. So, I get pretty bored pretty fast. Even with a phone, even with YouTube. I spend a lot of time on YouTube as it is. So, I was thinking to myself, because it was an idea that came to my mind, I should put a console in my car. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know why, but I started looking at Wiis, and you're gonna wonder why I picked a Wii of all things. So the front accessory socket on my car can take between, well, most cars actually, it's pretty standard that they can take between, I believe it's 280 to 320 watts. I could be wrong about that. It's definitely above 200. So I was doing research into that, and I was like, I could totally do this. So the reason why it's a Wii is because, yes, I could have done a PS3. Yes, I could have done a 360. Thing is, I don't feel comfortable with doing that. I don't feel comfortable with doing that, something that is much more high wattage than a Wii, because you can still do a lot with the Wii. So I completely excluded PS3 and Xbox 360 due to the high wattage and the fact that I own a 2007 car. I don't have the money, the means, or the knowledge to fix anything I break. I can fix the front accessory socket if it burns out. I've done it before, actually. But if anything else breaks, I'm screwed. So I decided to go with the Wii because it's low wattage and it's in those really safe parameters that I love. So my first step was to go and search for a Wii. So I went and I looked on eBay and I looked on Mercari and kept searching around. I put in offers, I put in bids, and was just basically throwing out a net to try and find at least just the console, because I actually have a power cord already. I have a power cord from when I got that stuff from Andrew, my coworker. He got it from his neighbors and stuff. Don't mind me putting stuff on my bed. It's for reasons. I need to put my phone somewhere. Just put it there. So I had a power cord already. I know I needed other things, but I already actually have another power cord, and I already have a Wii hooked up to my home entertainment system that I do use sometimes. I have it with all my other consoles, so I have the means to test a Wii if I get it. And that's the most important thing I would say when buying something electronic, is that you have a way to properly test it. Because if it doesn't work, then you're screwed and you lose that money, usually. Especially in this day and age. So I got this Wii off Mercari. I put in an offer for it. It was just the Wii itself. I put in an offer for, I think it was $24 plus shipping. And I got it. He accepted the offer and he sent it to me. So I got the Wii, I tested it, and it worked fine for the moment. This project has caused me a lot of headache, I should say. So he sent me the Wii, and it tested fine at that moment in time. So I was like, great, I got a Wii. So now I gotta search for the screen. Found a screen, and originally I was searching for something under under, I think it was 20 inches, yeah, under 20 inches. I believe this is 20 inches or a little bit over. And I was looking for something light that had HDMI and or AV, and it had to be a TV. It had to be 1080p as well. It had to be specifically 1080p. So I searched around. I actually ended up buying a monitor because my original plan was going to be to take what I thought was a TV from my set of 3 that I have on one of my 2 main systems and use that. So I actually picked up a 1080p monitor and I switched it out with the 900p. And then when I pulled the 900p down, I was like, oh, that's only got DVI and VGA. And if you think that's a problem, that I could just adapter it, yeah, that's a bit more of a complicated problem. I want to have sound for the Wii. And I don't want to buy a sound bar or even bother with speakers or anything like that. So using HDMI is my best bet because HDMI will carry over my audio signal perfectly, might I add. So that one was out of the picture, so I kept looking. And then I found this Vizio, worked perfectly fine. I tested in my car. I don't have the thing here, but I actually bought a 150 watt inverter for my car, which that works perfectly. So tested it, works fine. It's got this freaking thick brick. It's within my wattage spec too. That was another thing I was considering a lot, was the maximum use wattage of this. And this one I believe is 40, which is fine. A little bit more than I was hoping, but it's fine. So got a big thick power brick, which, yeah, well, I wanted something without a power brick, but I can't have everything in the world. So as you can see, it does have HDMI, has 2 of them, actually has component, and I believe that's just sound and everything. No, that's actually AV. So it has component and AV, and it has VGA, and it has a USB port. This is a really good fucking TV. I am so happy with this find. So this thing's great. I'm very happy to have it. And now I'm gonna go put it over here. Oh, thing's heavy. And we will take this out because I will have to talk about this in a minute too. So the next thing you're going to ask is, how was I going to put a TV and Wii in my car? Yes, I could power the Wii and the TV, but where do I physically put them? So the Wii I'm going to put underneath my seat. And there will be another video about me putting it in my car and testing it and things like that. Now the TV was a bit more of a hard one. So the reason why I needed it to be light was because my headrest that goes up, it doesn't go up very much. It goes up very hard. I've tried lubricating it multiple times and it's just a pain in my butt. But I can bring it up and then I could put a mount on it and I can just push it back down, and that will support this TV. I know it will. It'll be fine. So that was another thing I needed to look for with the TV, is a VESA mount. I needed a VESA mount. And everybody's going to be wondering, another question now is, where did you find a VESA mount with a hole that's like that big? Well, this is where my creative ingenuity comes in. Creative ingenuity, I say, but you may think otherwise, which I'm totally okay with. I bought this mount on Amazon, by the way. I'll try and leave links to everything I bought in the description below. Hold on. So here is my solution. I took this foam that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I took double-sided tape, and I got an X-Acto knife too, and I just foamed the absolute heck out of this mount. So now I've got a super tiny hole. And that is my solution. That is my creative solution to this problem. I'm actually even going to take the longer bolts that came with this. I'm going to shorten them down more because I don't like how far these stick out. Which I'll show you. Oh, like I said, this project was a huge pain because just sourcing stuff for such a niche project is very, very difficult in my opinion. Especially when you're trying to do it on a budget. This was all done very cheaply. And there's more to the story. There's plenty more to the story. So, okay, now that that's back, those stick out, at least in my opinion, too far. I want to cut them down to a bit more. I'm going to take the longer bolts, measure, and then cut them with some sort of saw or something. But for right now, it's just going to go back on monitor. It's going to go back on the TV. So moving on from that. So once I got the screen and I was waiting for other cords, because again, all I had was a power cord. I needed a video cord. Well, I had more than just the power cord, but it wasn't anything I could have used. So I needed a video cord. I needed an AV video cord. Got that. Moving the Wii back because there's more on this Wii, believe me. I also had an AVD HDMI 720p or up to 1080p upscaler too, that a friend gave me a long time ago, and it does work as far as I know. So I had that. I'm gonna upscale it to 1080p because nobody likes 480i. I had to get a new sensor bar, and actually I'm probably gonna put something much grippier, but my current solution is instead of having the plastic on the bottom, I have the foam that I also used in the mount. So it's a little bit, it'll still move, but compared to the plastic, which you can just, instead it doesn't move as much. So there will be something grippier on this eventually. So I needed that. I had to go to Home Depot and get a power cord, a 3-pronged one, and actually I'm glad this one is on the back because I can just put the little thing on the back, the power cord for the TV on the back there. This you need to power the, you need a micro B? I think this is a micro B. Yeah. You needed a micro B to USB, or USB to micro B power cord for the upscaler. Then I also got some GameCube controllers because I'm going to put GameCube games on them. These are just cheap ones that I bought, but they'll function fine. I got a really short, really nice HDMI cord because, again, I don't need a long HDMI cord because I'm going to be going from AV to HDMI. And then that was the cords and stuff that I needed. I already had this. I'm going to put reusable batteries in the car and I can charge it off the car as well. Thought of that. I already had this lying around. I have a way better charger that I use to charge my batteries now. So I'm just going to throw this in my car because why leave it in my room doing nothing? So after that, after I gotten all that stuff, I decided to move on to modding the Wii. That is what I knew I was going to mod the Wii, and this was the hardest part of the entire project. Modding the Wii is not easy because the Wii mod community is very non-existent in a sense, and I'm actually going to cut because I think my camera's about to lose its mind. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Anyways, picking up where we left off. So, I wanted to mod this Wii, not only just because it's fun, it allows me access to Game Boy Advance, SNES, actually even PlayStation games to an extent apparently. I haven't tested that, but that's it. There's an app for it in Homebrew. So, at the very least, I wanted to be able to put any ISO GameCube game without having to need the disc on it. And I won't tell you where I got these games. I won't tell you how I've acquired them in any ways for legal reasons. Sorry. Maybe in a Discord someday, but we're going to ignore that. So, modding the Wii was incredibly easy, the process. There's a freaking amazing guide online by this guy. I don't remember the name, but I will leave the link to it in the description below. And he made it so much easier than it was gonna be, in my opinion. So even though I say it was hard, it was also easy. So modding the Wii was very simple. I did that, and I was actually having issues with one of the apps for a long time, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I had bought a 32 gig USB stick for my games, and that was not enough. That was nowhere near enough. I thought it was going to be because the Wii was old and GameCube is even older, so I thought, oh, these games will only be in megabytes. They won't even hit they'll maybe hit 1 gig or 1.2. I was fucking wrong. I was really wrong. They got big. There were ones that were, I think, up to almost 8 gigs. So, yeah, I filled up that drive pretty quick. So I already knew I had to replace that. I ordered a new one. I have a 256 gig USB now. Hey guys, I wanted to put in this little insert here saying that I am no longer using the USB for the modded Wii. I'm using a portable SSD now. I was having a lot of issues with the USB itself, so I've moved from that to the portable SSD, and now a lot of my issues are resolved. I'm still getting a few, but it's not as bad as it was before. I just wanted to show you what I had bought and what I'm currently using. This right here is sort of like a build your own portable SSD enclosure. It's a USB, or it's a Type C, Type A USB. This one is different from mine. I had bought something completely different. I bought something like this, and then I had also bought an SSD. This is the SSD I actually bought, for sure. And now I'm just using that instead of the USB. I thought I'd put that in here so there's no confusion between this video and the next video, when the next video I'm going to have the SSD in frame, and I'm sure somebody will ask. Anyways, I'll let you guys get back to the video, and thanks for watching. And I regret buying that too, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So, modded the Wii, it was actually a lot easier than I thought, and it's actually incredibly fun. I do recommend doing it, and like I said, I'll leave a link to the guide below. So, I did that, and as I almost said what I did, as I was doing a certain thing that I cannot talk about, I noticed these pixels flaking across my screen, and I was thinking, that better not be what I think it is. So I thought maybe it's just something to do with the modding. I loaded up a game, and they were still there. I was like, okay, that's fine. Maybe loading up a game without the disc this is what happens. When loaded up with a disc, same exact thing. My Wii was artifacting, and because it is such an old console, there's nothing I could really do about it. I would have to replace the whole motherboard. And I did. This is the original motherboard. So when Wii's artifact, it sucks. I did test the Wii. I didn't have any artifacting when I tested it originally, but when I was modding it, I guess it just died. Sometimes things like that happen, and it really sucked. It really sucked. Because it was like, well, now I've got to go find a motherboard. And you actually need to find a specific motherboard. There are different revisions. Mine was RVL CPU 01. It was one of the earliest revisions. actually finding a motherboard wasn't very hard. I found one for $18 and it works flawlessly now. So there's one thing you should always be looking out when you need to replace your Wii's motherboard, especially if it doesn't come with a Wi-Fi chip. Mine came with a Wi-Fi chip. The Wii will not boot without Wi-Fi. It won't. And I don't know if it will boot with a different Wi-Fi chip meant for a different revision. So there was that as well. So the way you can tell is actually if you remove this and then look, you can actually see your revision number. If you put a flashlight there and peek in, you can see your revision number perfectly without having to take the Wii apart. That was really useful information to know personally, and I wanted to share that. So I went and bought the motherboard. I waited and waited and waited. I got it, and I had to remod the Wii all over again. I don't know if you can go with modding the Wii and then just replacing the motherboard. I did it out of pure safety because I don't want this Wii to be messed up in any way. So completely redid the mod. Everything works, but I was having issues doing a certain thing to put things on this USB with discs. Can't talk about it, like I said. And actually, it's perfectly legal, apparently, because you've purchased those discs, so you rightfully own them. You're not illegally getting them from anybody. So I was having issues, and I found out a large part of it. One of the things I found out why I was having so many stability issues with USB Loader GX, the program that you use to do the thing that I'm talking about, and to play a lot of the games that are on this drive. USBs, not recommended for putting your games on. It is recommended you have a portable hard drive or SSD. Unfortunately, I spent the money on this USB and I couldn't return it, so I'm sticking with it for now. I found a way to make it work though, pretty easily. You have to put them on the USB manually, all your games. And you have to use a program called Wii Backup Manager to transfer the games to the USB because it won't read ISOs. It'll only read Wii games, especially in WBFS format, which is Wii Backup Format System? Or Wii Backup File System, my bad. So, that was fun. I went through a lot of hell with that. I went through a lot of cursing and then trying a different USB, and then both USBs not working, and then forcing them to be FAT32, which is recommended that you use a tool called, I think it's FAT32 or GUI format or something like that. But it is recommended that you have the file system on the USB be FAT32 because the Wii is most friendly with FAT32 file systems. So there was that. This is FAT32, by the way, and it does allow you to use your full length of the drive. It doesn't compress it down to just 32 gigs. It lets use let's use the whole drive. Let's just go with that because I keep stuttering. So went through all the trouble of it not working, stepped away for a few days, came back, got it to work after formatting this again, moving my games off to a different drive. I've actually got a drive back there I'm going to back them all up to just in case something happens, because there's games on this drive that you can't get anywhere else now. And I'm not going to put them on the internet or anything like that because that's going to be illegal, and I don't condone illegal actions at all. Man, if the people in my Discord could see me now. Anyways, so there was that. This works now. That was a huge deal. And now I'm at the point where I can put it in my car, and I'm ready to put it in my car. And I think that's everything I have to talk about. It was a huge pain in the butt, but I'm very excited to continue doing it. And I can't wait to see in the next video that I'm going to do. I'm going to actually put it in my car. I'm going to record it and everything. And sorry for the noise in the background. I have my computers running. This is a video I just wanted to do and get done. And yeah. But that's about it. It was a huge journey. I'm sure I'll put stuff on screen and to keep it interesting and things like that. I know it's been a long time since you've heard from me, and you may be asking yourself, how do I do this? Did I get a job? No, I didn't get a job. I do work for family on the side, and I've done freelance jobs and things. That's how I afforded this. So I should mention I'm not working currently. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I think that's everything I wanted to cover with it. I was thinking about also adding a Raspberry Pi 4 in addition to the Wii so I could watch movies in my car. I want to also do that eventually. Be really cool. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to introduce this project. I do like doing projects like this. It makes me happy, keeps my mind off things, and I'm really hoping this actually takes off because this is really cool and I think it's a lot of fun, especially when it's such a difficult thing. The modding community for the Wii, like I said, is very dead. At least in my opinion. I couldn't find a lot of people to talk to it about, and the people I did find, there was one person that was really rude. He said, why the fuck are you putting a Wii in your car then if it's like this and this? Because I was asking for help with USB GX loader. Or USB loader GX, and he was just not helpful. He was kind of mean. But I found some people. I did find some people. They're really awesome, and a lot of it was on my own. I'm gonna leave links to the stuff below. There's actually one point in that guide I mentioned that he forgot to mention. There's another iOS you have to load on this Wii, and I'll leave a link to that as well. So yeah. I don't know what else to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you when I put this in my car, hopefully, or you'll see another teardown. I know not everybody's a fan of me doing teardown after teardown as a video upload, but I just need something to upload, and it is still helpful to the community, me uploading a teardown of every card in existence. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna clean everything up. I'm gonna get ready to put this in my car, and at some point this week I'll film it as well. And I've got other things to do with this Wii, actually. So, see y'all later. Thanks for watching, and bye.